All righty, here we are. Close that. Get the glare off my face. Hey, everyone, thank you so much. Here we are. Always forget to mute the other screen. Thank you so much for joining me for this. It's been a couple of weeks since we did the Tap Into Your Best Self challenge. And so I miss tapping with folks in this kind of live format. I mean, obviously I get to tap with folks live in my mastermind and in the advance program. So, that's always awesome because that's a whole other level of engagement when I actually get to see people and talk to them and tap with them directly. But I love this too because I'm able to reach so many people around the world. I love seeing Chesterfield, Mexico, Netherlands. I saw Arizona in there, Thailand, London. As many people know, London is my second home, and we've been looking at buying a house in a particular town, and a new house came on the market on London Lane. It's like, oh, I'm gonna take a good look at that. Anyhow, so is there still an echo of me speaking, or is that just when I had the other thing on? Hopefully there's not an echo going on now. So we are going to be talking about the fear of change because, hey, it's Halloween in a couple of days and Serbia, awesome. Halloween is a spooky time, and as human beings, one of the things that spooks us most is change, and that's what stops us from allowing ourselves the freedom to manifest what we really want. Because there's something that says, oh yes, that sounds so awesome. We look at our vision board and it's like, oh, that looks awesome, but it's different than what I have now. It's going to require change. And so, yeah, let's not do that. So we want to change that, allow ourselves greater freedom and clear out that fear. So as always, whenever I do an event, we always start this way. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Now just breathing comfortably with your eyes closed. Breathing comfortably, and go ahead and feel your feet on the floor or whatever part of you is connected to something. Allowing yourself to feel that connection. Allowing yourself to be right here, right now, as present as possible, so as to receive maximum benefit from this hour. Just following your breath through your body, allow yourself to think about some things that you would like to be different, some changes that you would like to make in your life. If it wasn't so scary. And allow yourself to imagine those changes having already taken place. Imagine yourself living with this new circumstance in your ideal life. And just following your breath through your body, allow yourself to be aware of where you might feel some fear, some discomfort, some part of you that says, oh, that's not safe. Notice on a scale of 0 to 10, how intense that fear might be. Notice what thoughts, beliefs, or memories might show up as to why you couldn't or shouldn't allow this change in your life. Allowing yourself to be aware of what feels important, what feels relevant. Take a deep breath. And let it go. Open your eyes and hey, since we're here, what say we do some tapping? Even though I have some fear of change, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though I have some fear of change, I choose to love and honor myself. Even though I have some fear of change, I have a lot of things that I'd like to be different. But when part of me imagines those changes, it feels too spooky. And I change my mind about that. And I keep manifesting what's already familiar. And even though I have this fear of change, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anyone else who might be involved. All this fear of change. All this fear of change. All this fear of things being different. Even if they'd be objectively better, part of me says, different is different. And it's uncomfortable. And I want no part of it. And a lot of this is unconscious. I'm not consciously deciding that I don't want the change. I mean, sometimes I might do that. But most of the choices I'm making and most of the manifesting that I'm doing is happening at an unconscious level, happening at an emotional level. And when the emotion that I feel is fear, that doesn't joyfully bring me things. And it's not that I'm bad or stupid. It's not that I'm weak or lazy. It's just that I have old programming about why I couldn't handle these changes, or about how I can't handle change in general. And maybe that's something that people said about me. Maybe my parents had a story about me, always saying, oh, well, this child's no good at change. Just doesn't like change. And maybe I heard it so many times, I decided it must be true. And I threw a fit every time they tried to change things on me. And at a certain level inside, part of me is still throwing a fit every time I try to change something. And I love and appreciate that part of me. That's just trying to keep me safe based on this old programming. And I'm giving myself permission to change that. Tapping through the anxiety about change. Tapping through the fear about change. because I can handle it. No matter what story I might have about my challenges with change, I have handled so many freaking changes in my life. Maybe not always as gracefully as I would have liked, but I handled them. I'm open to the possibility that I can handle them more joyfully. Because change is going to happen one way or another. I'm allowing myself to choose the changes that happen. Deciding what I want to change. And I'm giving myself the emotional freedom to do so. Thinking about the changes I want to make. And I'm clearing any fear about that. Clearing these fears at a cellular level. And all the way back through my past. Back through all those experiences in my life that might have contributed to this fear. I can handle this. I can handle this. I can survive it. I can even allow myself to thrive. I can joyfully embrace positive changes, giving myself the freedom to do so. I have what it takes to do what it takes. And I'm allowing things to get better and better. In body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes, go inside, and think again about those changes that you'd like to make. And notice where there might be some resistance, some fear, some doubts. Check in with what's going on in there and share in the comments what's coming up. A couple of folks from India, you are up late. Well, I guess it's not too late there yet. Brighton, Pakistan, wow, Mumbai, Germany, Vancouver, Belgium, Philly, Asheville, North Carolina. Still haven't gotten to North Carolina yet for some reason. I've been in the airport there. Utah, Finland, Greece, Moscow. That's such a great trip there a couple years ago. Be careful what you wish for, like there's always a catch. So yeah, so go ahead and I'm always saying to folks, tap on a daily basis. And so as long as we're here, go ahead and tap throughout the hour, clear as much as you can. Fear that I won't be able to hold a clear and positive vision for what I desire. And it's fear that stops us from doing so. You know, we have this clear vision and part of it says, oh, no. If you have a clear positive vision, you're going to create it. And then you have to deal with that and the consequences. So let's mess that up. Let's put it on blur. Fear that it's been too long. Many of you know that my favorite book is Illusions by Richard Bach. And in it, he has this book called The Messiah's Handbook. And one of the teachings in the Messiah's Handbook is, here's a test to find out whether your mission in life is complete. If you're still here, it isn't, which means it's never too late to change. So yeah, be tapping as we look at these. Oh my goodness, there's so many coming through. Kimberly, an FFT, freaking first time. That awkwardness, yeah. And it's that fear of I won't be able to handle it. You know, there's a video out there that a couple of people did on those first times. Japan, awesome. Really want to get to Japan. Nigeria, Turkey, Romania. Great. Anxiety's already gone down, Kristen. Awesome. Elena, flashbacks. And that's the thing is when we're doing the tapping, it's often like peeling the layers of the onion. So things that we've blocked, it's like, okay, this is going to help us protect ourselves. And now we're just going to put it back in the corner so you can't really see it. So, because we want it to be there controlling us. Yeah, Stacy, sometimes those changes are forced upon us. And it's, finding ways to allow ourselves to adapt. Feels fantastic. Thanks, Deborah. Kyrgyzstan? Wow. Glasgow. I have a brother-in-law named Alistair from Scotland. Grounding baby, okay. Fear to change the current conditions to positive ones in my closest relationships. It often comes down to other people. I don't want to be a burden. Oh, interesting, Don. Fear stopping me walking. I feel it's my greatest desire, but it's not happening. Yeah, and when it's not happening, the extent to which, you may have heard me say this many times, the extent to which we're not experiencing what we say we want tends to be the extent to which we're resisting it at an unconscious level because something about it feels uncomfortable, feels unsafe. Change is loss. Change the last 2 years. Yeah, not outshining your parents. You're dealing after the change. All right, so everybody go ahead and close your eyes, take a deep breath. Got a lot of great stuff here to play with. And go ahead and think again about the changes you'd like to make. And be aware of these different fears. These fears of how it'll affect other people, how other people will feel. This feeling that it'll somehow be a burden. Although my guess is that the change that you really want to make wouldn't actually make you a burden on anybody. So allow yourself again to get in touch with all of that fear that comes up. Why it couldn't or shouldn't happen. How it's threatening to you. Take a deep breath. Even though there's all these reasons why I shouldn't change, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though there are all these reasons why I mustn't change, I choose to love and honor myself. Even though I have all these reasons to avoid change, this fear that I can't handle it, this fear that it's never going to work anyway, this fear of how other people will react, and all this fear of loss. Because even if I'm not happy with my current circumstances, loss is loss. And as a human being, I don't like that. And even though I have all these reasons for avoiding change, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anybody else who might be involved. Because I choose to be that free. All these reasons for avoiding change. All these reasons for resisting change. And all the brilliant ways that I avoid change. Although change is going to happen anyway. But if I don't allow myself to choose the change, somebody else is going to choose it for me. But then part of me might say, well, at least I can blame someone else. I'd rather choose my change. But I have all these reasons why I can't. All this fear of change. All this fear of loss. All this fear of grief about what I would lose. Even if things in my life are crappy, it's my crap. It's familiar, which makes it kind of comforting. And I don't want to lose any of my crap. Consciously, I might say that I do. Like certain clutter in my house, junk that I know that I could get rid of, but somehow never get around to getting rid of. Because I hate loss. And part of me says, change is loss. And I'm clearing that out. Allowing myself to clear past associations that make change so hard. That make change seem painful. Because I choose to make it more joyful. But there may be people in my life who won't be as overjoyed as I am about these changes. And I need to hang on to my crap for their sake. And I choose to clear that. They don't need me to do that. They may think they do, but that's a tappable issue. And I can say to them, you don't need me to be stuck. You just need to go tap with this guy on YouTube. Shameless self-promotion. All this resistance to change. All this fear of change. All this belief that I have to make this sacrifice for others. There are places where I may choose to compromise, but not in all these cases. Clearing this fear, clearing this resistance. And I choose to clear my fear of disappointment. Because part of me says, if you try to change things for the better, and it doesn't work out the way you want it to, you have to feel painful disappointment. And why would we want to go and risk that? And I love and appreciate those parts of me that really believe they're trying to protect me. And I can handle this. And there may have been times in the past where I tried to change things for the better. And it didn't go quite the way I wanted it to. And that felt disappointing. And part of me said, let's not do this again. Except that there are also times where I attempted something and it did work out. I've probably had more successes than failures. But human beings have a negativity bias. That's how we protect ourselves. But it keeps me from seeing the truth. I have succeeded lots of times. Otherwise, I couldn't have made it this far. When I try to change something, there's a chance it won't go the way I want it to. But there's no chance for it to happen if I don't try. And every time I try, I learn something. And I choose to be open to the possibility that my previous attempts didn't work out the way I wanted them to. Because I hadn't cleared all the fear. Part of me was still resisting change and said, you can go ahead and try. We're just going to make sure it doesn't work out. You can apply for that dream job. But we couldn't handle it. So we're going to make sure we don't get it. We can go out on dates. But we couldn't handle a relationship. So we'll make sure that those people are really unavailable. I'm brilliantly manifesting what I think I can handle. And sometimes stuff shows up. And I'm wondering, what part of me thought I could handle this? It's because part of me knows what a badass I really am. I choose to handle better things. And I'm clearing the fear that I couldn't handle it. All this fear that I couldn't handle things going really well. Because if they go really well, there's a chance it won't last. And I'll have to deal with loss. That's going to happen anyway. As Shakespeare said, better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. And in terms of great opportunities and experiences, better to have had them and had them end than never to have experienced them at all. And it's an abundant universe. And there's always more where that came from. There's always more great opportunities to show up. Until the point that I'm done with those. In the meantime, I choose to say yes to life as hard as I can. When I see a great opportunity, some positive change that I would really enjoy, I choose to say, heck yeah. And I'm clearing the fears about that. And other people will be able to handle my changes too. I will not be a burden on other people. I'll be an uplifter. The real me, the best version of me, is an opposite of the burden. Clearing this fear. Allowing myself to know that I can handle these changes. I can handle the consequences. And as I allow myself to know that, I have the freedom to manifest better things. I vibrate at a much more positive level. Good things are coming to me right now. And I'm allowing myself to know that I can handle them. In body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. And let it go. Go inside and check what's going on in there. Allow yourself again to think about some positive changes you'd like to make. And just see what that feels like. Yeah, Sherry, the chemicals that go on in your body, here's the thing. There's a chemical reaction when we allow really cool things to happen too. And it's a better high. So it's giving ourselves permission to change our drug of choice to the positive feelings that happen especially when we're doing something that's in service to other people, in service to humanity. Man, that is an intoxicating drug. Hell yes to your badassness, Kimberly. Excellent. Yeah, if I hadn't allowed change, I would have all the great things in my life. Yeah, keep that in mind. Yeah, I mean, I don't know of everybody's situation, so I don't mean to be insensitive to anybody who is differently challenged in mobility wise. But for most of you, probably walking, you didn't stay crawling. You made the change to walking. And there's examples that everyone can look at and look at. Oh yeah, there's so many changes that I've made. Line for the Wizard of Oz. Got me some courage. I have this whole thing about wizards. I've got all my Harry Potter wands here and stuff like that, and the book The Wizard's Wish. And I have a sign outside my office so that let folks know when I'm working. And there's a red light, and it has the picture from The Wizard of Oz when they go to the door, and it says, "When the red light is on, no one gets in to see the wizard. Not nobody, not know how." And I love the whole. I'll sometimes when I'm working with folks say, there are people out there who have no more courage than you do, but they've got something you haven't got. Or oftentimes it's, but you've got something they haven't got, a fear of doing this. And then we can tap and clear that. Thank you. Yeah, Serena, that fearful it won't come through and fearful it will. Once I get my certification, then there's expectations of being able to help people and having to find clients and charge them money. And it's so much easier to not do that. As part of it says, and keep tapping and clearing those as those different thoughts come up. And it's like, oh, I don't have to be afraid of that. I can handle that. Other people have handled it. And they're no more badasses than I am. There's other people, they're no more badasses than you are. Just trying to go through here and see what other people are saying. Yeah, awesome. You guys are so awesome. Yeah. What happened to your garden shed? I cleared my fear of change and I made some changes into my office. Christine, you're welcome. Fear that I wouldn't be able to handle a relationship. Yeah, that's the thing is, I think someone had mentioned something about guys who are unavailable or not interested in commitment. Because at some level, some part of you is not interested in guys who are interested in commitment. Consciously you are. And there's a part of you that definitely wants that. But there's another part that says, commitment is scary. And the more committed I am in a relationship, the more I have to lose. So, hey, if I only go out with someone a couple of times and then they stop calling, it's not as painful a loss. There's not as much grief. If we went out for years, then I've got something serious to lose. So allowing yourself to be aware of, okay, there's that fear and I can handle that. Allowing yourself to know that you can handle finding people who are available, people who are looking for the awesomeness that is you. Accept an opportunity. I'm terrified I'll fail, but the journey is an unexpected adventure that can't be realized if I don't try. Amen. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. You We don't know until we try. And, and the whole, that fear of failure, I love the old expression. There is no failure. There's only feedback. We have all of this programming about what failure is. Like every time, fortunately, when we were learning to walk, our parents didn't say, all right, Junior, you can stand up and try, but don't you dare fail. You fall down even once and that's it. We don't get that programming when we're learning to walk, but we get that programming with so many other things. So we have this idea of you have to get it right. And it's like, but as with walking, we fall down a few times or many times, and that's how we figure it out until we stop falling down. So we look at that and go, okay, just because I didn't get it right this time doesn't mean that I'm not going to get it right the next time. Or maybe it'll be the time after that. Or I might find in the process of trying this isn't even really what I want to do. But in going towards that, I figure out what I really want. I didn't fail as an actor. It took me in the direction of something that, for me personally, is far more fulfilling. But it was all divinely perfect. Let's see. Surprises and joy that comes from change. We'll do a positive tap in just a moment here. Yeah, all these things. So all of these fears that come up, allow yourself, to sit, when you have an opportunity, have it sitting there in front of you and just be tapping. Oh, and someone asked about the words. Yeah, you can be sitting there looking at your vision board and tapping, and you don't necessarily have to say any words because that stuff is going to come up inside your body. So you can clear those fears even without saying the words, but oftentimes saying those words can help you get more engaged with the emotion. So loneliness is a difficult one to kick off. As you allow yourself to be more free and create more opportunities, I wouldn't worry about loneliness, because when you're vibrating at that level, you're like a flame to moths. You draw people, just so many amazing people show up in your life, and the people that are really, simpatico with you. Yeah. How do you trust the universe is working in your favor when things don't seem to be working out? The universe has laid out, imagine a smorgasbord, a buffet, and all this stuff is laid out. And the universe has laid out all of your favorite foods, but it's laid out other people's favorite foods too. And some of those things are things you might say, oh, why on earth would I want that? And we might be, so imagine you come to a smorgasbord and you're going along and you see that there's liver and onions there. And you may hate liver and onions. And so you stand there going, there's liver and onions here. Did you guys see this? There's liver and onions. Can you believe that they put liver and onions here? And eventually the restaurant's going to close and you've spent all your time focusing on liver and onions, not because you're bad or stupid, but because there's programming that we might have as to why we should focus on what we don't want, rather than taking that time to go to those things that we do want. And it may be a fear of, I don't deserve the foods that I really want. And so something says, oh, you know what? You should be upset about the stuff that's there that you don't want. So the universe is working in your favor. The universe has it all there. It's a question of what we are choosing and what we're allowing. And, so when things don't work out, allowing ourselves to go, I probably played a part in that. Was I showing up late? Did I make mistakes? And again, as you hear me say all the time, self-sabotage is simply misguided self-love. So looking at when things don't seem to be working out and looking at how might I be sabotaging that, even if it's just my internal thoughts and my energy. I may be thinking I've got, I've opened my shop and and I want people to come in, but energetically I've put a do not disturb sign outside on the door. So just allowing yourself to be aware of that and recognizing, okay, what fears might I have that are keeping things from working out? How to move from being unable to receive to enjoying the blessings without it becoming toxic? Tap. I mean, there's all kinds of great ways to clear up our energy. And, for me, this is my tool of choice. But, that's, for me, it's always clearing. ABC, always be clearing. If things aren't happening the way we want, there's something to be cleared. It doesn't seem to be able to stop the self-sabotage when I don't realize it. And that's the thing is, so just recognizing, okay, if it's not happening yet, there's probably some sabotage happening there. Even if you can't figure out how or why, even if it's like, objectively, you're convinced I'm doing everything I possibly can, then, and someone, an outside observer might look and say, no, you're not. But we fool ourselves, and we brilliantly fool ourselves because we don't want to admit that we play a part in that. We don't want to acknowledge our self-sabotage because, hey, if we acknowledge our self-sabotage, then we might do something about it and we might get that result that part of us has decided we can't handle. It's not safe for us. We don't deserve it, whatever it is. Yeah. Anyway, life's banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death because they don't feel deserving, because they're afraid. All of those things. So tap really, and oftentimes we don't see our own blind spots. So that's why it can be helpful to work with folks. I will mention that I have some openings in my mastermind starting next week. So if you want to be able to work with me one-on-one to get at those things that you're not able to see and clear those blocks so that you have the freedom to move forward more powerfully, you might consider joining that. Here, I'll put that in the chat there. So it's tapwithbrad.com/mastermind. So that's on Wednesday mornings at this same time. So check that out if you'd like to take advantage of that opportunity to move forward. And close your eyes, take a deep breath. Go inside and think again about what you'd like to have happen, what changes you'd like to make. Think about some action that you could take this coming week. Some action that you could take this week that would move you forward, that would create an awesome change. Notice on a scale of 0 to 10 how much resistance there might be. Allow yourself to be aware of where in your body you might feel that. Notice what thoughts, beliefs, or memories might come up as to why you couldn't or shouldn't take that action. Why you couldn't or shouldn't allow that change to take place. Just allow yourself to be aware of what's going on in there. Really allowing yourself to think of some action that you could take. Whether it's filling out that application, whether it's finishing a course, whether it's going out and asking someone on a date, whether it's starting to write that book, whatever it might be, some action that you could take. Doesn't have to be the right action. Do not worry at this moment about, I have to come up with the perfect action. Any action that is likely to make a positive change in your life, that has the potential. Notice there's part of your mind is going to say, it'll never work. Well, say thank you, move aside. Any idea, any action, any likely action that could potentially move the needle in the right direction and create some positive change in your life. Think of that action right now. Take a deep breath, open your eyes. I choose to take this action. And I choose to love and accept myself. I choose to get moving. And I choose to love and honor myself. I choose to take this action. I'm giving myself permission to move forward. Even though that means change. I choose to take this action. And I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anybody else who might be involved. I choose to take this action. I choose to get moving. And I choose to clear all the fears around this. Clearing all the resistance so that I can enjoy the heck out of this journey. Allowing myself to imagine the positive changes and allowing that to feel awesome. Allowing myself to be excited about the people that I'll meet. The great experiences I'll enjoy. And I just got to move the needle. I'm clearing all of my resistance to that. What am I so afraid of? What is the worst that could happen? I can handle that. I could handle the worst possible outcome. I mean, the worst possible outcome is death. And I'm going to have to handle that at some point anyway. I choose to really live before then. I choose to live my life out loud. And that's going to take some changes. And I choose to feel so good about those. And I love and appreciate those parts of me that are saying, yeah, but it might not work out. Or, yeah, but it will work out and you can't handle that. We've got this. And it's going to feel so awesome to see how I handle it. And I'm going to grow one way or the other. By taking this action, I'm going to be improving. I'll be tapping into my best self. So it's kind of a win-win situation. Either I get the result that I want, or I put myself in a better position to get it. Or I get more clarity about what I really want. I almost can't lose. And it might mean personal growth for some other people in my life. They'll have to grow in order to adapt to my changes. That is a gift to them. I'm not going to deprive them of that gift. I'm allowing myself to grow. I'm giving myself permission to take this action. Unless a better idea comes to me. I'm giving myself permission to take this action or some better action for the highest good of all concerned. And I am loving myself in the process, in body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. And, keep giving yourself permission to tap. If it's not showing up, allow yourself to consider probably some resistance there, or at least possibly some resistance. There's no harm in saying, oh, there might be some resistance for me to tap. It's not like, oh, well, it would have happened if I hadn't, if I hadn't tapped. So, using tapping or whatever tools you might have to clear that resistance and create greater openings. Thank you, Barb, for the comment about the mastermind. I'm going to post that link again. For anyone who wants to join me on Wednesday to really dig down deep. And it's in the small group, it's awesome because I work with each person individually, but you also benefit from the tapping rounds of everyone else. And it just, constantly, everyone, each time it's their turn, and like, okay, thank you to everybody else who just tapped because I got so much out of that. So it's really powerful. We're going to close out with a guided imagery because that's how I roll. So go ahead and get yourselves comfortable. Go ahead and stop typing right now and close your eyes. Don't miss out. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Now just breathing comfortably with your eyes closed. Breathing comfortably, and just imagine that with each breath you take in, you breathe in relaxation and positive energy. Go ahead and imagine a healing light of whatever color you like surrounding your body, so that with each breath you take in, your lungs comfortably draw in that healing light, allowing it to flow through every muscle, nerve, fiber, tissue, cell, and atom of your body. Imagine a healing shower flowing down crystal clear water that's a perfect temperature as it flows over the top of your head, soothing and relaxing your scalp, washing away fear, doubt, anxiety, washing away anger, sadness, guilt, shame. washing away pain, frustration, disappointment, embarrassment. Washing these away to reveal the light that you truly are, this unique expression of divine light and love. Allowing more and more of that light to be revealed as that healing shower flows over your forehead, relaxing the muscles in your face, flowing down over the back of your head, your neck, your shoulders, washing away tension, leaving your shoulders calm, comfortable, and relaxed. That healing shower flowing down your arms, all the way down over your fingertips, down over your chest and your stomach, soothing and relaxing, healing and cleansing. And allowing yourself to remain comfortably in whatever position you choose. Allow that healing shower to flow down over your upper and lower back. And as your torso relaxes, your internal organs comfortably do whatever they need to do to achieve and maintain your optimal level of health and well-being in body, mind, and spirit. As that healing shower continues down over your body, down over your hips and your thighs, over your knees, down your lower legs, through your ankles, into your feet. And finally, that relaxation flows over your toes as you allow yourself to relax twice as much, going at least twice as deep with each number as I count backwards. 5, drifting down to 4, floating down to 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. Deeper, deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. And in this calm, comfortable state of mind and body, go ahead and imagine yourself in some really beautiful place. Some place where you allow yourself to be present to the beauty, the magnificence, the abundance of creation, knowing that it is here for you as much as anyone else. And also recognizing that you can cover your eyes at any moment and it feels like, oh, there's no more abundance out there. And giving yourself permission to, again, take your hands away from your eyes and look around and see that the abundance is there. And also allow yourself now to turn and get a new perspective and see something else that looks beautiful. So maybe you're looking at the ocean and now you turn and look at the mountains. Allow yourself to know the ocean is still there anytime you want to go back, but you don't want to miss out on the mountains too. Change is an awesome way to experience more of the blessings that life has to offer. And change can also lead to challenges that help us become stronger, that help us become better. You have what it takes to handle change. Allowing yourself the freedom to trust yourself, to trust the universe, and to release the fears that cause you to sometimes miss out, that cause you to sometimes put your hands over your eyes and insist that the abundance isn't there. Allowing yourself to let go of the fear that sometimes tells you to turn away and get off the path. Allowing yourself to have a lot more faith in yourself. Feeling a lot more confidence in yourself as we go even deeper now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. In a moment, I'll count you back out from 0 up to 5. 5 will be wide awake, alert, focused, and energetic, feeling much better than before. Feeling much more confident in yourself, and even feeling more confident in the universe. Confident that the universe really does have your back, really does want wonderful things for you, and has them available for when you're willing. Allowing yourself to be much more willing. Tonight, when you choose to go to sleep, don't be surprised when you fall asleep quickly, soundly, deeply, and sleep very well through the night. During the night, you'll dream. The stronger you become from having your dreams, the better things get. Allowing at least one of your dreams to be a very healing dream. Continuing this healing process in body, mind, and spirit so that in the morning, at the time you've chosen to wake up, you wake up easily, feeling refreshed, energetic, and ready to start the day again, powerfully moving forward into that ever more joyful experience of an ever greater abundance of health, wealth, happiness, and love, which are your birthright and which benefit others. Now go back down to zero, which is always deep sleep, allowing your mind, body, and spirit to digest all these positive thoughts and images, taking them in at a very deep level, so that these positive changes occur easily, effortlessly, and naturally. Coming up to 1, feeling physically relaxed. 2, feeling emotionally calm and confident. 3, health and well-being, enthusiasm, love, joy, and gratitude flowing through every muscle, nerve, fiber, tissue, cell, and atom of your body. 4, becoming more and more alert and aware of your surroundings. And 5 is eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake, and welcome back. And thank you so much for joining me for this. Thank you so much for being willing to release that fear of change, because as you allow yourself the freedom to make positive changes, that benefits all of us. That up levels the world. It makes a positive difference. So thank you for being willing to do that. Hey, by the way, if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, as long as you're here, click subscribe. What are you waiting for? And I hope you'll consider joining me in the mastermind or one of my other programs. And please keep clearing out that stuff that stops you from having the best life possible, because your success benefits others. Love you guys. Have a great day. Take care. Happy Halloween.